What is up, Montana sports fans? You've just stepped into Wide Left Sports, where the stories are real, the passion is loud, and the athletes come first. This isn't just another sports show. This is Montana. Small towns, big dreams, long nights, early mornings, and people who flat out love the game. From Friday night lights to summer ball under the sun, from gym floors to turf fields. If it matters here, we're talking about it. Today's episode is another chance to give Montana athletes the mic and let them tell their story the right way. So settle in, turn it up, and get ready, because this is Wide Left Sports. But first, here's a word from our sponsors. Wide Left Sports is proudly sponsored by TDS Fiber, bringing fast, reliable internet to Billings and beyond. Whether you're streaming the big game, uploading content, or just trying to keep the whole house connected, TDS Fiber delivers the speed you need without the lag. Check availability in your neighborhood and make the switch today. TDS Fiber, internet built for real life. Hello, welcome to Wide Left Sports. Today I am joined by Rocky football player Cohen Groener. Cohen, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Mitch?
I am doing really good, good. Excuse me. It's kind of cool to have you on now and say Rocky football player instead of West High football player. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Full circle. Full circle.
So I guess for the listeners that have seen, your couple of episodes that I've had you on before, what are you up to now?
A lot of it's the same, but just different school, different environment. Last time I think you had me, it was right before the Shrine game. So just finishing up like our basketball season and everything. So since then, obviously I've graduated. We've had our football season, and I kept my red shirt. I got to play my 2 games still, but I kept my red shirt. So it's pretty cool that I got to do that. And I'm just going to school, trying to get my degree and find my way through college. So a little bit of a different scenery, but the football and stuff's a lot of the same.
Awesome. So talk to me about that red shirt decision and what it was like to go through that your first year at Rocky.
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, like it's a hard year. Like you're doing all the workouts just as much as everybody, if not even more, because you're not playing as much. So you got to do like on Saturday or on Sunday after the game, like you're doing more workouts than the guys that are playing and everything. So it's kind of, you got to bite the bullet and just kind of know that you're doing it for the future. But it definitely is tough that just watching your teammates play when you get to practice all week, like you're putting in all the hard work and it's really not going anywhere to where you can see it. But you kind of just got to trust the process and know that eventually you're going to get paid off. Like I didn't play all throughout the first 8 games, and I played the last 2 games a pretty good amount on special teams and stuff. So I think it's just knowing the course and just getting through that year, but also just trying to excel yourself as much as you can and really build your body to a college football player, because a lot of those kids are a lot older than you once you get in from high school. Like there's a lot of guys that were 5-6 years older than me, and they're obviously way more developed than I was. And so you kind of just got to build your body to be a college football player and really just get to know the guys in the process.
For sure. So then as a high school player that, played not only on defense like you are in college, but you also played a lot on offense and were dang good at it. What was that adjustment like being a red shirt and, not playing as much?
Yeah, it was honestly very difficult for me. Like I went from playing in games where I'd play 160 plays a game, and then I go to playing 10 plays maybe on a good side, So that was definitely difficult. And sometimes I miss playing receiver. Like I'm playing DV, and it's like when the ball gets thrown, the ball's kind of up for grabs. Like I played receiver too, so it's like I'm a little more like, I guess, inclined to gamble for the ball than try to knock it down. Like I want the ball just as much as the receiver does. And so I think really just adapting to knowing that you got to focus on your one individual craft and really just like your athletic ability. Like in high school, if you're more athletic, you're stronger, you're faster, and you're smarter than the other person, you're most likely going to beat the other person. But in college, everybody's smart, everybody's strong, everybody's athletic. And so you got to really focus on your little details, from getting out of your break quick to running the crisp route just to beat the other guys. So I think for me, it was just learning that I had to adapt to being a one-sided player and really embrace my teammates while embracing myself as I grew through it.
For sure. So you mentioned that you got in a couple games towards the end of the year there. So what was that like the first time you were able to suit up for Rocky and get to put on the green and gold of the Battler Bears?
Yeah, It was a great experience. That's a childhood dream. Like you go, everyone wants to be a college football player. Like when you're 10 years old playing flag football, like you're like, I'm gonna be an NFL player. Like I'm gonna play college football. And so once you're there, it's kind of hits you like, okay, my dream's here. Like I'm doing this stuff. But for me, I felt that I prepared so much throughout the first 8 weeks and before that in the summer and all the stuff that I was ready. Like I felt that I was ready to play and I was ready to do my job and help my team out. And so I really didn't have much nerves. I was just kind of in the game, and I felt that I was completely ready to go up against any other college football player and dominate them. And so it's kind of just how you have to have a mindset in football. You can't really go in there thinking that you're the guy that's just getting to play the last 2 games. Like I went in there that I'm the guy that I was at West High when I was playing 160 plays. So
That is awesome. So, talk to me a little bit with West High. There are a lot of West High kids that are at Rocky right now and will be coming in the fall. So, what is it like to continue that brotherhood of West High Bears at Rocky?
yeah, I think it's important. I mean, there's a few of us now, and we've had some people quit or be done due to injury or whatever. But I mean, I think that it truly shows like the weight training program and just like the I guess legacy that's brought through that. Like we all did all this hard stuff together, and a lot of the stuff I do in college is the same stuff that Mark had us go through at West. And so I felt like I was a lot more prepared than any other program. And so I feel that West High kids feel so prepared once they get to Rocky that they want to stay there and they want to help each other out. From when I was a freshman, Dylan Dinas was helping me out almost every single day when I'm learning stuff. And so now that Colt's going to come and me, Christian are already there, got Brock Goff's there, like all of us are going to help each other out. It's almost like a built-in friendship before you even get there. And it's a really, really helpful when you're a freshman and you're just trying to figure out what to even do or where to go eat lunch.
Right. For sure, for sure. So, talk to me a little bit. There was a coaching change there at Rocky this year, and how excited are you to have that new regime there and just elevate Rocky football even more?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I really I love every single one of our coaches already. I've been around my DB's coach for about 8 weeks now. And obviously I've had ties with almost every single coach. I've talked to every single one, all the stations we do for Winter Condo, all that stuff. I've been around every single one. But it's kind of ironic because our head coach now, Randy Bandelow, he was recruiting me to go to Carroll when I was coming out of high school. And so I already had a relationship with him. And then Coach Thomas, which is our DB's coach, he recruited me to Rocky. So both of them recruited me to different schools, and now they're both coaching me at the same school. So it's kind of nice to have a relationship with them prior to just getting thrown into the wind. And
Yeah.
I love everything that they're doing. They're pushing everybody as hard as we can. I've talked to all the older kids. They said that anything we've done this year is nothing like anything else they've done. And so obviously it's changing the culture. We're already trying to get more people out to the games. We're handing out flyers for the spring game. We're trying to elevate the tailgate. We're trying to do so many things to get people to the game and really want to believe in us because we're a good team and we know that, and we're going to show that this year. But I think that the coaching change was needed. And as much as I liked a lot of our other coaches in the past, I think that change needed to happen in order for us to be successful.
That is awesome. So, talk to me about the Frontier Conference because obviously it's rooted in Montana, but as I went and I tried to get some of the coaches from the other schools, it is expansive all around the region. So, how cool is that to have a lot of games here in Montana? You're also getting to go to other places in the region.
Yeah, I think it's so cool. I've traveled a lot through basketball. Just like my sophomore year of high school, I used to play on an AAU team, and we used to go to Vegas and Salt Lake City, all these different places to play basketball. But I've never really traveled for football. I don't think I've ever even played a game in another state. And so I'm kind of pumped to go play against different competition and play in different weather. Like if we play Arizona Christian, like that's going to be a hot game. I'm not used to 100-degree weather, and so that's going to be a completely different thing. But it's actually funny. I went and bought a suitcase yesterday strictly for those games because I didn't have a suitcase because I just don't travel very much. And so I'm really pumped for it. And I think it's another thing to kind of build time with your teammates. Like most of my memories from high school are on the bus, having fun with my teammates. And so it's a completely different thing when it's a plane ride, like you remember those things. And so I'm pretty pumped to have those moments with my teammates.
For sure. And one of the new or newer, I should say, teams in the Frontier is Dickinson State, and they too have a lot of Billings ties. So, what is it going to be like to play a lot of guys from West at Dickinson State?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird dynamic because I love all those guys over there, and I think that they're chasing the same dream that we are at Rocky. But to be honest with you, you kind of being a college football player, you got to go in the mindset that like you have no ties with them, and so when you're playing them, like it will be cool after the game, but like during the game, like it's business, like college football is a business and you got to do your job and you got to do it better than they're doing their job. And so I think when we play Dickinson, it's going to be a fun game. Obviously there's going to be high emotions and everything, just like every other game, but we just got to treat it as doing our job and really focusing on what we need to do. And then after the game, we can talk to the guys and see how they're doing and everything.
For sure. So, you before we got on, we're kind of talking about your off-season workout a little bit and what all that entails. So, for people that don't know, kind of what you do when the football season is done, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so right now our schedule, it changes. This week we have our max week, so it's a little more deload. They're gonna give us a little break so we can get our numbers and stuff before spring ball starts next week. But as far as winter condo, the first 4 weeks were really tough. We're 8 weeks away from playing football. There's no reason. If we're sore, we're sore. Like it's not an issue to anybody. You got to prevent injury, but if you're sore, that's not a problem. And so we were going pretty hard. We're running sprints with barely any break at 5:45 in the morning. It's cold out. It's 30 degrees. It's. I mean, those are tough to get up for. Like the
Yeah.
ground's still frosted. The turf's hard. You're running. You don't feel good. You have no food in your body, no water. Basically, you slept all night. So that's pretty tough. But we do that usually 5:45 in the morning, and then some people lift right after. If not, then you have a selected lifting time during your day between your classes. For me, on Tuesdays, we would run, and then I would go get breakfast, and I'd immediately shower, go to 2 classes, and then I'd do my homework, and I'd get done with my day around all the things I needed around 4-ish, and then I'd be able to chill, relax, and kind of recover my body a little bit. And then on Thursday, I would do running, and then I had a lift right after, so we did running 5:45, got done around like 6:45, and then I went straight to lifting from 7 to 8. And then showered, went to 2 classes, had lunch, went to another lab, and then got treatment from the trainers for my soreness and everything, which those guys do a great job. They've been great every single time I'm in there. And so it's a job. Like when you're coming into college football, it's not like high school football where you're going to go have fun or you want to go hang out with your friends or stuff. It's a job. You're waking up early, you're doing all your football stuff early, you're going to class, and then you're doing more football stuff. And then when you're done with all that, you got to think about your playbook. You got to get in your playbook. So it's really an all-day job, but it's a commitment that you make, and I think it's enjoyable. And as much as the 5:45 suck, I think that's where you win football games more or less than the field, because that's when you grow passion. You see who you can trust and rely on the team, and it really just strengthens your endurance, your body, your mental, really everything. So
That is awesome. And so, for someone that has never been to a Rocky football game, what is that atmosphere like for you as a player? And then also talk about the tailgate, because I know your parents have a pretty dang good tailgate there at Rocky.
yeah, I think that if I had to speak to somebody that's never been to a Rocky football game, our stadium is built in a bowl. So everything's going to echo. Everything that's loud, it's going to echo right off the thing or right off the side of the bullet, we call it. And you can sit on the grass, you can sit on the stands. There's multiple spots you can sit. You really can choose. You can find shade, you can get a tan. There's a concession stand right there. There's all sorts of stuff there. And then you go out to the tailgate, and every single tailgate spot's taken right away. And everyone's cooking. Everyone's willing to give you food, drink, whatever you need. And for my parents' tailgate, I know that all the redshirt guys, when we weren't dressing, we would all go there and get food, and my parents would provide for us and want the players there to go talk to other people, because to get people at the game and really respect you, you got to go out and talk to the people. A lot of people think that since they're adults or they're not playing or they're not part of the team, like people aren't willing to talk to people about their like situation. Like when I have my parents' friends come and talk to me, like I love and enjoy that because I like to share my passion. And so it's not like
Yeah.
we're trying to be Hollywood or not talk to people. Like that's what we enjoy to do. And so I think the tailgate's the best spot for that. So if you're wanting to come to a game, there's no reason not to try it. You're going to be there for 2-3 hours on a Saturday noon. Like you got nothing else to do, you know? And then after you can go hang out Saturday night, Saturday morning, get breakfast and come to the game. Like it's a perfect time window for everybody. So I think everybody should really try it and embrace it because we're the only college football team in Billings. So as much as it is fun driving to Bozeman, you have a team right here. You don't got to waste the gas money. And we just prepare as much as MSU does. So
I love that. I love that. Excuse me. So when you were making your choice to go to Rocky, what was it that was the like deciding factor for you to say, yeah, I want to not only play football at Rocky, but I want to go to school at Rocky and have my next 4 to 5 years there.
yeah, I think there was a lot of things that played into it, and it was a tough choice just looking at everything between financials and where I'm going to live and who I'm going to be around, roommates. There's a lot of stuff that plays into it that not a lot of people think. A lot of people are just going to think like, hey, football team, winning record, or is the program set? But it's like you got to look into your future a little bit more. So for me, I looked into financials and living by my parents and going to school with some of my friends from high school and all that stuff. And Rocky's it's a private school. You're going to get a private degree. And I wanted to go into the medical field, and they're known for that. They have programs that you can set yourself right into grad school, and the placement rate's over 95%. So you got to think about those little things. And, you know, football lasts 4 or 5 years and then you're done. You can't play football when you're 45 years old, you know, unless it's not like you're going to get hurt. It's just one of those sports.
Unless you're Brady.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you're Brady. But it's just one of those things you got to think about your future a little more. So for me, when I was choosing, I thought about financials and that I had my high school friends. My parents were here. I liked some of the guys that were going that I played against. And so I think that it was just the best fit for me, along with my medical degree that I want. And so I think it just fit perfectly for me, and I still think that.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's kind of switch gears a little bit. And I know you were just a part of a flag football camp with Coach Nieto and a lot of the other coaches in the community. So talk a lot about that and what that was like for you.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience. You know, I've coached little kids at West High. We've had little kids camps and stuff, but those kids are 9, 10 years old. So I've never coached a high school athlete that moves well and is matured and, you know, how like they're strong and they you know what I mean? It's a completely different thing, different speed, all that stuff. And so I think coming into it, I didn't know where I wanted to start at all because I didn't know the skill level. I didn't know how new to football it was for them. I didn't know how much they knew about football. There's so much that goes into this. And so when I kind of got there, I had some drills set up, same drills that we run, same exact everyday drills. We call it EDDs, everyday drills. And we go, so I had them start backpedaling, learn correct form backpedaling, make sure they don't fall over, you know, keep your weight where you want to wait, stance, all the basic stuff. And then we got into some breaks a little bit. That was pretty good. Taught them how to break out quickly and really just taught them the game of football. A lot of them were having a hard time understanding that receivers aren't like running your route to where you're going to break. It's a lot easier for them to run forward and break than it is for you to run backwards and change all your momentum. And that's why DB is such a hard sport. And so I was just explaining a lot of that to them. And I think it was great. A lot of them picked up great. And I really did enjoy it. It was my first time coaching, like I said, high school athletes that move well and really have a passion about it. And so I thought it was great. There was a lot of competition. I had a lot of fun. It was cold, so I did feel bad for the girls. It was like 30 degrees. Wind was blowing pretty good. I was like, guys, I swear it's not usually this cold when you're playing football. But yeah, it was great. And I'm glad that Nieto gave me the opportunity to do it because I want to get into coaching when I'm a little older and stuff like that. And so I thought it was a good bridge to get to that point.
Oh, that's awesome. And so what is he, I mean, obviously for you to go back, he meant a lot to you when you were at West. So what does it mean that he asked you to come back and, you know, wanted you to be one of the coaches for that?
Yeah, I think it was very important to me, like that he trusted me enough to go try to teach girls that he is going to coach and compete with. He trusted me to go teach them things that I know. And so I think it was a respect thing that he respected what I did at West, and I respected the time that he put in to help me out to get to where I'm at. And so I think in his case, that the fact that he did trust me to do that showed the level of relationship that we had through him coaching me at receiver at West, and just like all the moments we shared and everything. And although that he's done coaching tackle football, now he's on to flag football. And I think it's important that we both carry our knowledge from what we've learned at that level and take it to this level for them to learn new things as well as maybe even different things, since it's a little different structure of a sport.
For sure, for sure. So now let's move on to one of your NIL deals, and I'll just call it that because that's what it is. With Holo 988, what did that, or what does it mean to you to be a part of that brand? And I know what it is because I'm a part of it as well. But what kind of led you to that and really made you want to be a part of it?
Yeah, so Holo 988 is a project that's like suicide prevention and mental health. And it's kind of just showing people that they're empowered and they can pursue their dreams no matter who they are or what physical ability they have, what mental ability they have. Everyone can pursue their dreams, and I think that all of us hit the lottery on just strictly waking up and being alive, even today. Like, that's how you have to think. And so I think as soon as Luke and Thor asked me and you introduced them to me, I think that it was just a perfect fit, and everyone has their problems. Like I said in the interview I had on the news a couple weeks ago, that every single athlete, like you see NFL athletes committing suicide, like everyone has their problem. Like Rondale Moore, he just committed suicide, and he had
Yep.
everything. He was a starting receiver in the NFL. He was getting paid millions of dollars to do something he loved, and like he still cracked. And so I think it's an important thing that people don't realize, that in athletes especially, it is a huge problem. Like for me, my sophomore year of high school, like I wanted to stop playing football. I felt that I wasn't getting treated correctly for my ability, and I was frustrated with the whole program. And for me, my mom and my dad really told me to like keep pushing through it, and that's what I did. And so as soon as they came to me with the opportunity, I felt that it aligned perfectly with what I've experienced, and I feel that I can help people as much as possible with how they're going to perform in the future. Or even if you aren't an athlete and just strictly going through hard times, that you can look to athletes and see that everybody struggles, and it's just part of really connecting with each other and trying to help each other grow and build a better mindset.
That is amazing. And so one of the cool things with that Holo 988 is you got to design your very own T-shirt that goes on their website and people get to buy and support you. So what went into that for you, and what was really important for you to have on that design of the T-shirt?
Yeah, so for me, obviously, I wanted my signature on it. I wanted a stamp of kind of what I did, but mine has a cross on there. And I think that for me, in my hard times, that I've always looked to God, and I've kind of got into my Bible a lot more lately. And so when things aren't going my way, I feel that there's always somebody's cheering for me. And so I look there and I like to read my Bible, and it gives me quotes that get me through the day and just simply see a positive light in a day that's filled with a ton of things that I don't want to do. And so even now, like with all those workouts, like those are hard to wake up for. But like since I can find something positive in the day like that, it helps me push through it. And so I wanted to empower people to look there if they have an interest in it, because it really did help me, and I think that it can help a lot of other people. And I've had a lot of friends that have got me into it. I wasn't even the first one to be introduced to it. I've been introduced to it through my friends in high school, and then it just keeps on growing. And so I felt that that was very important for me to have on my shirt, and I just feel like it's an outlet for a lot of people to look if they're really struggling.
I love that. So for people that want to support you with that and get the T-shirt and support Holo 988, how can they do that?
Yeah, so they can just go strictly on Google, Safari, anything like that, and they just type in Holo 988, and it should pull up, should be the first link. It's under Luke Swinson, and they can go down, and there's all different athletes that they have. I think it should have a little column of everybody's name and a picture,
Yeah.
and that you can go on and you can click it, and then it shows all the merch. Or it's linked in my Instagram it's just Cohen Groener, CohenGroener. You can just go straight on that. It's in my bio, and you just click the link, and it should be right there. If not, if you know my mom, a lot of people know her. You can go on their Facebook. It's probably been posted on there 30 times. So there's multiple things you can do, but I repost it at least once a month. at least once a month, usually once every 2 weeks even. And so if you're just following or even see this, Mitch reposts a lot too. So you should just be able to go on there and see what it is and even read the message, even if you don't want to buy a shirt. Luke has a little paragraph typed out that you can read and see really what it's for and what it stands for. And I think that's more important than even buying the shirt or the NIA deal, is that you got to push the message. And that's what is most important for all the athletes that are aligned with Holo 8988.
For sure. And I am just going to give a quick shout out as well, because Luke is actually coming to Billings this week. And he will be speaking Wednesday morning at, I believe, 9:45 at our alma mater, West High. So excited to go see that.
Yep, and I believe I'll be there for a little bit and talk as much as I can in between my classes about some of my experiences with my mental health.
That is awesome. So as we kind of wrap up here, I see the Bear Shrine over there in the back corner, and I know you are a massive Bears fan. And your mom told me a story about what happened when you were in Chicago this last winter. So tell me a little bit about that and what that was like for you as a massive Bears fan.
Yeah, so just to get some background, my middle name's Hallis, after George Hallis, the owner of the Bears, so I kind of had no choice to be a Bears fan. And down the line, my family is from Chicago, pretty way back. There's not a lot of us from there now, but back there a little bit. And I was also born on the Super Bowl. The Bears played the Colts. That was my birthday. So it all kind of lines up. But I've always been wanting to go to Chicago. I've always wanted to go to a Bears game. I think I've watched every single Bears game since I've been 6 years old. At Christmas this year, I named 48 of the 52-man roster.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm a diehard Bears fan, and I've always wanted to go to a game. So that was my graduation gift. It just came a little late, and I went to Chicago to watch a Bears game. We were in the pro shop, just simply looking for clothes. I was just spending thousands of dollars on Bears things. And these guys came up to my mom because she had these overalls on that were pretty cool. And they were like, hey, like, we're from Dr. Pepper, and we work with the Bears. Like, do you want to come on down on the field to do a game? My mom's like, no, I don't think I really want that. But if I found my son, like, I'm sure he would do it. And anyways, they walked away, and I come up to my mom like 30 seconds later. I was like, who are those guys? Like, what were they trying to sell you? I just thought they were normal solicitors. She's like, I don't know. They asked me to go on the field or something. I just said that I didn't really want to and that you might. And I was like, whoa, where are they? So I kind of ran after them, and I was like, hey, like, I'll do it, like, right away. Like, let me do it. And so they hand me a huge contract, like 3 pages. I didn't even read any of it. I just signed right away. I was like, just get me to the field. Like, they probably could have scammed me, but I was just ready. And so they gave me their phone number, and they're like, right before kickoff, just come to this area and we'll let you down there. And so me and my dad got to go kind of walk through the tunnel. We got to see all the Bears cars. Like, I got to see Caleb Williams' Rolls Royce, and that's insane.
Wow.
And so all their cars are parked under there. They're all nice sports cars and everything. And then we kind of walk through, and we get to the tunnel of where the players run out, and they still have all the stuff set up. And so, like, all the smoke machines are still set. Like, the lights that they have over the banners all still set. So we kind of just got to sit in that corner to watch the game for a little bit before they let us out there, because we're waiting for a timeout. And so that was pretty cool. Just got to sit on the field, watch the game, which is insane enough.
That's insane.
And then I finally got to go out to the game, and we just basically got to do a game where we had to name as many sports with a ball in it. And I had to beat our punter, Torrey Taylor, which he's from, I think it's like somewhere in the UK. And so he didn't know. He didn't know a lot of the American sports. So I think he got like 7, and I think I got like 14 or something like that. And so I beat him pretty good. And they gave me a cooler, a year's supply of Dr. Pepper, a chair, and then a speaker with a Chicago Bears and Dr. Pepper thing. And I got to be on the Jumbotron all over the field. Everybody's yelling. It was honestly insane. It was like a dream come true. You would never think that would ever happen, but it was insane. And I think it was destiny for, obviously, our basement and everything down here. So eventually it pays off. But yeah, it was an insane moment, and I'll probably remember that for the rest of my life.
That is so awesome. And so as we kind of wrap this up, obviously I know your mom and dad fairly well, and I know that they support you and your sister Macy very, very much. But what is it?
I think I lost you. I think it cut out.
It did, but we're good. We're back.
Okay.
Um, what does it mean to have your parents' support through everything? Is what I asked. Sorry.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. I always have looked up to my dad in particular, and I've wanted to do everything that he did. And my dad has a heart degree, pro law and QT, where he can't do any other sport other than golf. They basically shut him down. You can't do anything that raises your heartbeat. And so he never got to do any of those things. And it was a very low chance that I didn't have it and I didn't have it. And so I got to do all those things. And so I think sometimes that I kind of live through my dad in a way, or he lives through me and how I play sports and like him watching and stuff. And just how he talks to me, I feel that I'm almost obligated to kind of let him see my success for what he could have been. And so I think that motivates me. And as far as my mom, I think that she's always been there. She's at every single game, no matter what. If she misses a game, it's a whole essay I get of why she missed and how she's sorry about it. And she was also the main contributor of why I didn't quit my sophomore year. And so I think that's very important to me. And I'll always remember that feeling and how I was very, very angry at her for not letting me quit. And so I think that that's just kind of a big contributor. And she changed her whole lifestyle. She didn't watch football a ton before she had me and before she met my dad. And she knows just as much about football as any other person would. And so she's kind of changed her lifestyle to know these things. And she's at every single game. And I just truly appreciate all the support because I don't think I would be the man I am without them. So.
Oh, that's awesome. And you were not wrong about your mom knowing a lot about football. I sat next to her at the Bobcat Natty, and I was like, oh, wow, you do know an awful lot. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. Well, Cohen, I want to thank you so much for coming on again, talking about everything you have going on. And I cannot wait for the spring game, which is, when is that again?
April 18th.
April 18th. So everybody in Billings, make sure to get to that spring game. Support Rocky, and I can't wait to get to that. And then, of course, football this fall.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Mitch. I appreciate you.
Of course. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Yep, you too.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Wide Left Sports. If you liked what you heard, hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, and keep spreading the word. Because this platform grows when Montana sports fans show up for other Montana athletes. These stories matter, the work matters, and the passion around sports in this state is something truly special. Huge thank you to our sponsors for helping us make this possible, and thank you for listening, supporting, and riding with us. We've got more conversations coming, more athletes to highlight, and more Montana stories to tell. Until next time, keep supporting local sports, keep cheering loud, and keep it right here with Wide Left Sports.